Today's show is brought to you by Win the Race, the NASCAR strategy platform built for fans who want more than picks. From 100,000 race simulations and pro-level DFS tools to advanced driver and track analytics, Win the Race helps you think like a race strategist, not a spectator. Learn more at wintherace.info.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 47 of The Draft. Feels like we've been gone forever, but it's only been a 1-week break. So we're back. We're going to talk some Bristol tonight. We're going to draft our teams. We're going to draft one driver from 8 teams, a bonus driver. And Phil and I, we were talking before the show. I think the bonus is going to be insanely important this week. Like there are so many picks we could do, so many ways we could go here with that pick. It's going to be awesome. And we are coming off one of the closest drafts of all time, a 1-point victory for someone here. And I'll pull it up in a second. Tino's still getting a little situated there. Hopefully he's got his AOL dial-up dialed in tonight. And no, there he goes. I jinxed it. So, all right, Phil, I'm going to kick it to you. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. I missed you guys. I really did. Hopefully Tino can get back in here. But how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. And missed the draft last week as well. Got my fix. I was on with Kyle and Brian on the Angler Pursuit pod last week, talking a little bit of Cup, talking Rockingham, and so that was fun. And I'm pumped to get back at it here for Bristol. A lot going on this week on the various slates, but the draft, looking at it, this is going to be a tough one. I think, when we get into Bristol, it's very heavy hitter friendly. And like you said, the strategy around the draft is going to be fun to see how it shakes out. And anyone that participates in the draft on the site on Win the Race, I'll be anxious to see kind of how people play it there as well. So pumped about it. Disappointed that my Blaney shirt did not come through at Martinsville, but we won't spend too much time talking about that. I'm going to be more relaxed. I tried to be a big time funny guy showman last week. Didn't work out. So I gotta take it down a notch and try to score a win.
And to lock in. I like it. But the energy was great. Great feedback from everybody too who watched it. That was definitely awesome to see. Tino, how are you feeling, man? We were just saying when you were out, we missed the show last week. I missed you guys, missed talking some racing. So I'm glad we're back this week doing it. And thank you everyone for tuning in as well. We'll get to the comments in a minute here. But Tino, how are you feeling? You excited to be back?
Feeling absolutely great, fired up, locked in, all break. We have a little break, dialing in the setup, making sure the Wi-Fi is right, switching over some things, making sure it's all good to go. Had a little hiccup right when we started, but no, we're locked in now. And I mean, Martinsville didn't do too hot betting wise. You're going to have some of those weeks. If I was going to lose, I'm glad we lost the way we did with Chase Elliott, little strategy. That's okay. Like, I'm okay losing with how that race panned out because I know a lot of people weren't expecting that. Denny Hamlin was my bonus pick, and he ended up dominating the whole race, so he probably should have won. Obviously didn't get it done, but I did get it done, and that's what I can be happy about. The bets don't pan out, but the draft does. 1-point victory for me, and that's what matters most. It's like, you got some bets, you got some of this stuff, you put some stuff down and talk about some other things, but as long as I'm winning the draft, that's really what matters most. So I had a great off week, getting ready, getting prepared for Bristol, and one of my favorite tracks, honestly. So I'm looking forward to it this week.
Yeah, man, I can't believe this. I got the draft up here, a 1-point victory. The 1-point victory. I'll go back to, I've turned my back on Carson Hocevar. He scores 3 more points than Suarez. I lose by 1 point. That one stung a lot right there. So, Tino, you are ahead in the game now. So we have, what have we done? 7 weeks. You got 4 wins. I got 2. Phil's got 1. We've seen how this plays out before, though. It's too early to tell what's going to happen. We had someone reach out in Discord with a good cause, too, that we decided to donate to. Madeline's Mission, just PKAN, which it just sounds awful. There's no cure for it. But we donated to help gene therapy. And I tweeted that out on the Win the Race X. So there's a link there, GoFundMe, go check it out. Great cause. And I appreciate people reaching out and letting us know what, means a lot to you. Because it's him and another, member of Win the Race know this family. And so I was glad that, this show and everything that we do could help out with that. So go check out the tweet on X and support it, if you can. All right, so let's get into Bristol. It's been too long, like we said. We got to start talking some racing, get some draft picks out there. And we're going to start it like we do every week. Phil, I'm going to kick it to you. Let's do a quick race preview here, talk about what everyone can expect to see at Bristol this time around. I know we have a new tire compound. It's going to be interesting, so I'll let you get into that.
Yeah, I'll give you the quick breakdown here like we usually do. Bristol, for anyone who's new to the game, it's a .533 high-banked short track and definitely a bucket list racetrack for a lot of people, me included. We've only got 6 next-gen races here because they ran a few on dirt in the spring race back in the day. So, glad that they're back on the concrete here. The fall race is the crown jewel type. The night race at Bristol is a big one, but this is a nice 500-mile, appetizer, as I like to call it. So the Food City 500, we're going to have stage breaks at 125. Stage 2 would be 125, and then the final stage is double that, so 250. So that's going to break down to 500 laps. Practice qualifying 4:30 on Saturday, and the race will be 3 p.m. on FS1 on Sunday. The track stats: 127 races in the history of the Cup Series. The pole winner has won the race 27 times, and the last time it happened was a little far back, Brad Keselowski in 2020. Starting position is important. Top 5, the winner started there 62% of the time, and starting inside the top 10, 80% of the time. If you're starting outside the top 20, it's tough sledding. It's only happened 6 times in the history of this racetrack. Kevin Harvick was the last to do it back in 2016. And manufacturer trends, pretty good split. Toyota has 3 wins, Chevy 2, Ford with 1 in the next-gen car. And then if you're looking for comps, Win the Race track comparison tool has Richmond, Phoenix, Martinsville, Iowa, and Dover as comparison tracks. So you can build your card off of that if you'd like. And Goodyear notes, you mentioned it, Ryan. They're bringing some new tires here that they said are supposed to handle the weather change. They change in temperature. So that's going to be interesting. We had a tire test back in November. It was Priest, Bowman, and Bubba Wallace that ran that. So if that means anything to you, well, there you go. So interesting to see. I don't know what we're going to expect with the tires. I think you kind of just have to, cross your fingers and hope with that. But we will see. So that's the breakdown for Bristol.
Yeah, I think they're so we had races with extreme tire wear, and then 2 of them, and then we had 2 races with no tire wear. So then I think the long and short of it is they're trying to bring a tire that's the in-between. So like you said, I don't know. Who knows? Who could honestly say they know what's going to happen with this tire? We're going to have to watch some practice. And even after practice, as we head into the race, we've been fooled before within the last 4 races after we watch practice and get into the race. So we might not know until Sunday, which kind of makes it pretty exciting. It'll be a fun weekend. It's already going to be an awesome triple header. We were talking about that too. All right, let's get into it. We're going to draft 1 pick from the 8 teams you see on the top, and then a bonus pick that'll score 1.25 extra points. We're going to use NASCAR scoring as the official scoring. The winner will choose a charity, win the race, will donate to that charity. As always, Tino, I'm going to kick it to you for 2311. And if there's any, comments or anything pouring in, I see some good ones, you're posting on the screen. So if you want to shout some people out, get into your pick, let's go.
Yeah, no, appreciate everyone commenting. Keep them coming. And for what I've been seeing, not just here in the chat, but also on social media within the NASCAR community, a lot of people talking about our boy in Team 54. Could be a new winner. Maybe not the 77, maybe the 54. We'll talk about it, but it's nice to see, a little bit of the change. This is a race that I've had circled for them, see if they can get it done. But yeah, appreciate everyone. Phil in the chat saying KFB in the truck on Friday, probably another lock for a win for him as well. My boy Sean McBride in the chat asking about logs. Stay tuned. We'll see. But as for 2311, my pick's going to be Bubba Wallace here. Just remembering and going based off of Martinsville last weekend or however long that race was ago, not a good showing for him there. He qualified where he had practiced well at Martinsville, had a good track record there, thought he was going to perform well for us, and he didn't. and then he took it out on Carson Hocevar. And it didn't really look good. I mean, he said he didn't drive through him, but that's what it looked like. My point of mentioning this here now is I can see him just trying to stay calm, cool, collected this week at Bristol. When he is normally racing that way, it could be a top 10 finish, and that's really all I'm sort of looking for from this team specifically this weekend. Tyler Reddick, obviously we talk about him and his short trackness and how he's getting better. I just expect Bubba to be maybe 1 or 2 spots better than the 45 this weekend.
I'll go next year then, because I'll split it up. I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick, and then we can see which way Phil wants to end 23-11 here. For me, I think neither of these guys are very good here at all. I mean, we've raced here for 3 years with them outside of the dirt, and they got one top 10 amongst them. So I'm just not really a fan of either of them here. But I did think Reddick, with all things considered, not being very great at Martinsville either, held his own last week, qualified well, finished top 15. It's what it is on tracks like this that are kind of outside of his, I guess, wheelhouse where he's the most, prolific. But I'll say this too. 3 races in this package right now. So like momentum wise, talking about Reddick's momentum, Bubba's crapped out of 2 of them. So that's one reason why, I don't know. I just don't think Bubba's on a great trajectory in this package right now. Whereas Reddick, I think, can just be solid or solid enough. I don't think he's just going to absolutely flame out here. So give me Tyler Reddick here. Phil, curious to see where you go here.
Well, I was kind of assuming I was going to be going last, and honestly, I was going to play it. It was a 50-50 ball for me. So if you took Bubba, I was going to be the one to break it up. But since I get to split the difference, I'm going to go with Bubba as my pick for the reason of, I could have made the case for Reddick because of simply just eye test this season, right? His numbers at Bristol, they're not there. Bubba has some numbers at Bristol, he's 10th best in average running position. That's something, Reddick really can't say. And then you're looking at the comps, Wallace pokes his head up a little bit on driver rating, on running position there, the tracks that I'm looking at, those races that I'm looking at. So you mentioned how he's crapped out at 2 of the 3, but my rebuttal to that is he was fast in both of those races, and I don't think either of them were his fault, right? So, we didn't get to see him finish the races, and if he were to have that opportunity, I think we'd be singing a different tune. So I'll take Bubba simply the fact that I feel like he's shown that his ceiling is higher. He's got a 3rd place finish here. And, looking at his finishes at Bristol compared to Reddick's, Bubba definitely passes the eye test there on paper. So, but like you said, it could go either way. And I guess we'll see how it shakes out. I'm going with Bubba.
Am I remembering correctly too that didn't Corey Heim have a wicked high finish here at Bristol?
Well, let me say this. I had to, when I was looking at the stats here, I was like, is Corey Heim in this race? Because I'm about to take Corey Heim.
Yeah.
And he's not. So yeah.
Yeah, and we're not taking Herbs. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right, let's head to a Ford team here. Another one where, pretty much a straight up toss up every time we get to this team. I'll lead this one off. I'm going back to Zane this week. So, and this is not only because he had a really good finish here the last time we were here, but just this year, he's got an average running position about 3 spots higher than his teammates in this package. So he's been better than them. His 4-tire pit stop score on Win the Race. We're now 4 races into tracking that because we don't do super speedways and all that stuff. 10th best overall in 4 races of tracking, which is way better than his teammates. So I'd like to see that here too, especially when you say things like in your preview, how much track position is going to matter. So I love that about Zane Smith. Maybe he can gain some positions there. And that's it. I mean, his average starting position too in this package this year is 11 spots better than his teammates. So that track position thing, I'm just going to play that with Zane Smith and hope he can hold on. And I also don't think, I think he's having a pretty decent year too. So I wouldn't not surprised if he runs well, maybe in that 15 to 22 range, something like that, I think would be a win for this team with a chance for maybe some attrition or a lucky finish inside the top 10 again or something like that. But yeah, give me Zane here. I just like him better than his teammates. Tino, I'm going to hop over to you. What do you got?
Yeah, this is a spot where I kind of want to be different, but going with Todd Gilliland last week at Martinsville, assuming he was going to be in that spot for a top 10 for us, and it just didn't really pan out. Seeing Zane Smith have a lot more speed throughout the whole weekend, that to me right now says I'm picking Zane Smith until it's not the pick anymore. Whether it's he's got the fast car or he's just capitalizing on the race itself, he's just been the guy all season long. You know, I try to open up for Gregson when possible, you know, at a high speed track like Darlington or Todd at a short track like Martinsville. And it just never really has panned out for me, at least to start this year. So got to stay with Zane. And props to him too, for, you know, it's like we talk about that team. We want the top 15 is a great day. Top 20 is good enough for them. But Zane Smith's been racing really well this year. So props to him.
Yeah, I agree. Phil, what do you got here?
Zane for sure. And that quote right there from Zach, I mean, that's dead on. In the off season, you know, the three of us, we talked about FR, you know, front row, and whether we should include him. And I think it was because it's such a toss up every week that was in our mind. But I think Zane's making a case to throw this team out because it's just going to be Zane every week.
Yeah,
he's so much better. And just look at his 3 starts at Bristol. I mean, he started, I guess his starting position really hasn't mattered. He started 24th last time we were here and finished 3rd. His average running position was 7.8. Like, that's insane. Drive rating of 111. Like, Jesus, that's not Zane Smith. That's not a front row car, but for some reason it is. So Zane for sure is the pick. I'm not getting crazy there.
Yeah, I feel like Gilliland's team has just been ass everywhere. Even when we expect them to be okay, it's just like something is up, and they're slow. All right, let's move to a team that could win this race with a driver who has won many of these races. So let's go to Hendricks. Phil, I'm going to let you lead this one off. I think you went last in the last 2. So let's have you lead off HMS here with our first Chevy team.
Sure. Taking the easy way out, chalk pick, going Larson. And, you know, from a gambling standpoint, I don't think he's the move because he's been so inconsistent this year. There's concerns about, like, what's going on with them. He's on this winless streak. But in the draft, I'd be crazy not to take him, I think. He is just so good here. His stats are astronomical. 2 wins, 5 top 5s in 6 starts, 7.7 average finish. That's second best in the sport. His driver rating is a 10th back from first place, so he's second there as well. I mean, he's got the ability to absolutely crush, and I just can't get the night race from 2 years ago out of my mind when I think about Kyle Larson, because he just made that so uninteresting. And at a track like this, he has the ability to do that every time, you would think, if he's Kyle Larson that we know. The concern from a gambling standpoint is too short of a number. Is he that guy right now? What's going on with that team? But for this, I got to take him.
Yeah, I was at that night race, so bucket list complete, but what a beatdown. You know, it was not interesting, like you said. So but yeah, man, I gotta go with Kyle Larson here too. I hear what you're saying, and I talked about this on the preview with E-Step this morning. What's super weird is that if you look at the races in this package this year, I mean, there's only 3 of them, and none of them are really like Bristol. But you know, it's that momentum thing and what kind of speed you have in this package week in and week out. He's like 8th best in average running position in those races. And to me, that's just kind of uncharacteristic of Kyle Larson. So if there's any place where he can come back and just snap out of it and just show everybody, like, I'm back, took a week off, here I am, it'd be here. So I think this is like a super important race for this team to just say, like, yeah, stop sleeping on us. We're here again. So I don't know. That's one of the fun storylines, I think, heading into the race. So we'll see what happens. Tino, what do you got here?
Completely agree about what Iowa just said in the chat here. This 2-week break will be interesting to see what they figured out. And we can hit the panic button if they don't, but I'm really expecting you give a team like Hendrick Motorsports a break while they're still trying to figure things out. You give a crew chief like Cliff Daniels the time to prepare a strategy for Bristol if necessary. And I think I'm not going to be surprised if Kyle Larson actually does win this race. 8 top 5s in the last 11 races here at Bristol, 3 wins. I think this is a situation to where, not that we're necessarily doubting them, but we're curious what's going on. Questions are being asked. Conversations and dialogue are being had about his winless streak, which, it's kind of long for him, but at the same time, he just won the championship. They're racing for points. They're still up there close, like, contenders. I think this is a situation to where he goes out and wins, and it's like, oh yeah, he's still the same guy, and just took him a little bit longer to get there.
Yeah, he is unreal here. So it's going to be fun to watch. All right, let's jump to JGR, another team here. Now, this team, super interesting to me because I'll just say it, guys. Like, I have 2 picks from this team tonight. In what order they're in, I honestly don't know right now. I think all 4 guys should be drafted, and I just, we just can only take 2 each. So I think this is the coolest part of the draft right here with JGR. And curious to hear what your takes are. I have my 2 guys locked in. I'm going to let one of you lead it off. Tino, we'll start with you. Go ahead. JGR, what do you have for your pick here?
All right. Well, you led me up to a good point here. A lot of great options. I think one thing that I'm thinking about is the tires, right? If that's a factor, which it has been and you mentioned this in the preview as well, or at least earlier on in the show, where it's like, it's been every other year or every other race. It seemed like the tires have mattered. Like night race last year was major, but then the spring was, and then
it's like sandwiched in between. So they had extreme tire wear, then 2 boring ones, and then the tire wear again.
So when we're talking about tire wear, I think of guys like Denny Hamlin. I think of drivers like Christopher Bell. Briscoe, to me, I think he gets his get back, but I'm not picking him in this one. A lot of guys out there talking about Ty Gibbs, Team 54, saying I better make the right choice. Well, I'm going to stand on business here. I don't think Ty Gibbs is the right choice. I don't think he's capable of winning this race. Everyone think he's, going to do it. And now there's a lot of talk about him getting ready to do that and having a strong run. It's too much eyeballs, too much people now hopping on the train. I'm off. Give me Christopher Bell. Just won the most recent Bristol race. Strong at Martinsville. I think that's going to play a factor. And the pit crew as well. I think, when you're trusting them and seeing them gain positions on pit road, I think that's going to be very important. Ty Gibbs, I'm out. I can't get behind it anymore because I think it's now too many people are talking about it. It was fun when it was like, oh yeah, maybe he can do it and being on the train before everyone else, but not this time.
Awesome. Phil, what do you got here?
Just trying to read Tino's poker face here. I don't know. I'm not sure if I believe him, but
I agree.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna roll with Denny Hamlin for my pick for JGR, but I also am a 2 JGR driver guy tonight, so we'll have a little suspense for later. But Denny Hamlin, I mean, he is just so good at this racetrack. 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s in 6 races. Denny is what? 3rd in average finish, 3rd in drive rating, 2nd in average running position at this racetrack. And then you look at this season, like since Phoenix, he's been the guy. Like he's been the most consistent driver every single week. And, going to a racetrack that he clearly is very good at, it's just a perfect combination. Christopher Bell, maybe we'll talk about him later, maybe not. The thing that scares me about him is like he's kind of had like Kyle Larson syndrome right now. Like he's not been the Christopher Bell we know. So we'll see later. Maybe he'll find the way in. Maybe somebody else will. But for now, for my pick, it's Denny Hamlin.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna stick with what I had originally here. I'm going with Christopher Bell, and I think it's interesting that Christopher Bell, sneakily over the last 4 races at Bristol, has the best average finish. He's got the best true average running position in those races. He's the only one with a top 10 in all 4 races. So I just think he's going to be rock solid. I hear what you're saying too. Like it seems like he's down a little bit right now. But I think that's the same reason I like Lane Riggs in the truck race that we were talking about. I just think like when you come off of him a little bit and then he comes to a place where he's really comfortable. I heard an interview with him that I like today too, and I can post that on my X later. I just think he's ready. And he's running double duty. He'll be in that truck race. So I just think, this is where he comes and says like, okay, everyone's talking about my teammates, like kind of like the Larson thing. but in a different aspect. Like, okay, now it's time to come here and show like I'm going to run top 3 all day and maybe win this race. So give me Christopher Bell. I love that pit crew call out too. Fastest pit crew. They're unreal. They have like perfect scores and win the race in like 3 of the 4 races we've tracked. Team's crazy good.
Noticed that at Martinsville big time. And he didn't have he had a fast car, but like he was like 8th, they bring him back to top 5 and he can stay there. So that was something that like big pit crew for sure.
Yeah.
Before we move on, guys, what are we doing here to our boy Team 54? I mean, like I said, I'm off, but what are you guys doing? I mean, why are you not picking him and why are you making our boy sad? He's speechless. He's speechless. I don't know. I don't know.
He already knows that my first bet was last week of Ty Gibbs. I got Ty Gibbs 14-1 to win this race. So I'm on the Ty Gibbs train. I'm fully on board. Choo choo.
Doesn't look like
efforts. Well, just wait, my friend. All right, so Penske. Let's go to a Ford team. I think this might be a little chalky, but I was curious. I wanted to talk a little Austin Cindric with you guys. We never pick him here, but man, he's been strong. Like very, very strong. Like top 5 average running position in this package strong this season. So like I don't know. He's one that I'm really watching here. I want to see if he can kind of keep up this momentum and bring the speed to Bristol. He kind of has sucked at Bristol with Penske. But this year in this package, he's got some real speed. I'm not picking him here because I'm just a little crazy. I'm not like totally crazy.
Hold on then. Before you move on, let's stick with Cindric. I want to ask you a question because I was staring down head-to-heads this week. And Cindric was
over Chastain.
You took him over Chastain because that was going to be what I asked. I went to Bristol's numbers for Cindric and I got scared off because he's kind of dog shit. So, but I hear what you're saying, and to hear you say that you took it makes me interested. So
let me, if you don't mind, then do you want to lead this off? Because I just want to pull up a picture that I had in Discord that was of that head-to-head, and I'll go find it right now and let us know who you're taking for Penske.
Sure. I mean, to me, this is easy. I'm sorry, Sean McBride, but this is Ryan Blaney. And it's not even close. I mean, Blaney, his first, I think, few finishes at Bristol skew his numbers a bit because he didn't get the finishes. But more recently, Blaney has been like right there. So let's see. His first 2 finishes 30th and 22nd. But since then, 16, 8, 6, 5, 4. Getting better every single race. I expect Ryan Blaney to be there in the end. Very solid. And don't let those first 2 next-gen Bristol races scare you off of Blaney at this racetrack. He's going to be absolutely a beast. And I'll speak more about why I'm not taking Logano in the next section. So we'll get there too.
Perfect. I'm Ryan Blaney all day too here. His 3 finishes in this package this year are 1st, 3rd, and 6th. And then Bristol over the last 2 years, the only drivers with a better average running position than him are the JGR trio, Hamlin, Bell, Gibbs. So guys that we've all just talked about as being awesome here. Blaney's only behind them. Real quick, Tino, before you go, I'll just pull this up real quick. This is in this package this year where these guys have ran. They're not even close. They're not even on the same track. I mean, it's like Cindric's worst is running almost 70% of his laps inside the top 10. He had the one, bad finish there, but that was a great race, from him. Average running position is 6.5. So just a crap finish at Phoenix. But like these two are not the same right now. So when I saw them we had it a slight value when the race. I think Cindric minus 127 was fair. So it's not like it's a great killer value. But when I look at this, I was like, man, I hate betting Cindric things, but I had to take this one.
I like it. I mean, you're weighing right now this year versus track history at Bristol because Chastain's like 5 for 6 top 20, 4 top 15s, whereas Cindric has like 1 top 15.
Yeah, I think I'm on just like the fade Chastain everywhere thing because we've already gone places where we thought he'd be good and he's just not.
Yep.
So like I just think the team kind of sucks right now.
Well, you sold me. I'll be throwing that head-to-head in.
I know, and I feel like this is like friends should not like let friends drive drunk. Like I feel like you shouldn't go bet Cindric and tail something like that, but like we just got to follow the numbers, and I think we can come out on top. So, all right, Tino, what do you got for Penske here?
Got to be Ryan Blaney. Make it a clean sweep of the draft, and I'll also ride with the head-to-head of Austin Cindric. I'll take a couple of seconds to talk about him. Very impressed with what I'm seeing right now out of him because it's what we should be seeing. The car has speed. He's capitalizing on it. Strong runs in the last couple of weeks. Martinsville very much impressed me. I don't think he will be able to beat Blaney, but at the same time, if Blaney has some trouble, right, if the pit crew miscues, stuff like that happens, maybe we do see an Austin Cindric like top 5, top 10, you know? So, and to that point, I've already talked multiple weeks about how Chastain's let me down. So I am like, and that's what we're looking at this season, sticking with that, play that we're talking about is Austin Cindric rising, Chastain falling. So I think this is a perfect storm of those two coming together for that head-to-head specifically. Ryan Blaney, last thing I'll mention too, 6th, 5th, 4th, going to be a top 3 here. Whether or not tires matter or they don't, he's going to pass cars anyways, and that's what I love about Ryan Blaney the most.
Awesome. Yeah, I think he's going to be really tough.
My favorite comment of the night so far by Kyle. Friends don't let friends bet Chastain in 2026.
Yeah, there we go. So we're on the Cindric side, so we're good. Yeah, I was just going to pull up like Ryan Preece races here because we're heading to RFK. I'm torn here, guys. I don't know what to take here. I guess I'll just go first, and I'll let you guys go from there. What I had written down all day, I'm not going to change it. I've got Brad Keselowski. I just like him at this track. I do think that the tires will wear enough to where, here's his races. When the tires wear, he finishes top 5. When they don't, he is nowhere to be found. So I don't know. I'm hoping that the tires wear. Maybe this is just my wishful thinking of what we're going to see on Sunday. And I'm thinking Brad can be good. So give me Brad here. If the tires don't wear, I think he could really suck. So let's just see what happens. Phil, I'm going to kick it back to you. What do you got?
Yeah, Brad Keselowski for sure. He was my pick all day. And honestly, I mean, I think let's just say they don't have tire wear. I think that he's still fast enough. Like if you're looking at his finishes and his races, like he's still fast enough to put himself in the top 10, top 15. And I think that they are so desperate. It's a track that this team is very good at on paper. I think they're so desperate that they could be a team that makes a call to be different and take a shot and shoot for the moon on a strategy play to try to, sneak a win. So, and if tires do wear, great. That's exactly what he wants. So, Keselowski is my pick. And on my podcast, I had one head-to-head, and it was Keselowski over Logano. He has an undefeated record, 6-0 versus Logano at Bristol in the next-gen car. I thought that was wild, and part of that reason is because of how bad Joey Logano has been. His finishes are atrocious. So I'm sorry, Sean, but it just, it is what it is. So Brad is someone that I am definitely targeting this week.
All right, cool. I'm glad to hear that. It makes me feel better about it. It's what I had written down all day. Kino, what do you got here? You going to pivot?
I am going to pivot. Good call. I'm going to pivot to Chris Buescher. I feel comfortable in this spot. I want to be a little bit different in, at any point in this draft. We're kind of similar throughout. I'm not expecting that to change as we get towards the end here. So I don't mind taking this. This could be like my SVG against Chastain at Martinsville, which kind of got me the 1-point win. Everything you guys are saying about Brad, definitely valid. I agree. I'm not going to go against that necessarily. But for Buescher himself, in the last 6 races, started off hot in the first 3 with a win, 4th, 7th. Kind of teetered off after that, 14th, 25th, 11th in terms of the finishes. But where I also look at is his running position. Last race here, 6th in stage 1, 7th in stage 2. So it's like he shows he's racing in the top 5 finished, or top 10 rather, finished in 11th, excuse me. Starting position is where this part is tough here. Because especially when you look at when the race, And where these guys are netting out, Brad's average start is like 15th and Buescher's is in the 20s, 21st, 22nd. So that's where I have a problem, because if the tires aren't mattering, like we mentioned, then it's just going to be even harder for Buescher to get up there. But I don't mind taking a shot here for a guy that has the experience, who has a win here. And ultimately, I feel like would I be crazy? What do you guys think about this? Especially in Martinsville, where I thought Priest was like a lock for a top 10, but he was outside there all day. I feel like these guys are a toss-up pretty much every week. And that's not a bad thing, because I feel like if they're all 10th, 11th, 12th, or they're, we saw at Darlington, maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th place cars, I feel like they're all unloading in the same area.
Yeah, well, they've done that, because I was just pulled up all three in the enhanced loop data on Win the Race. And one thing I did notice is the 2025, the first race, the spring race, they just missed it. All three of them. No one finished better than 16th. They just ran mid-pack to the back all day. They just missed it that race. So, but if you do look at the other ones, there's some hope here. So, but that kind of goes along with what you're saying too, is like they are so similar. Like when they get it, all three of them seem to get it. When they miss it, all three of them seem to miss it. So that's a good point that you brought up there. And it's funny, I was not even looking at that for that, and you're talking about it while I'm, verifying that. So it's kind of cool that it came up like that.
Sick. Let's go. Boys are back.
The boys are back. Let's go. Speaking of the boys are back, I mean, I might as well just lead off this next team, because Carson Hocevar, baby. That's where we're rolling. Shout out to Iowa too. I don't know if Iowa's in here tonight. I don't know if we've seen him in the comments.
He's here. He's here. Bring me home.
There he is. Bring me home. Let's go. Yeah, he had his tweet. I'm just gonna freaking read it. Carson Hocevar, Bristol in the spring, started 9th, drove his way forward. Slow start to the race with drivers being on edge, with tire failure in practice. Once tires proved they could hold up, he continued to drive forward all day. In stage 3, drove past Ty Gibbs for 3rd and was able to put 0.5 seconds on him and a full second on Blaney before he came to pit road. And the pit crew dropped the car and the jack while changing the left side tires, leaving a 22-second stop, effectively ruining the race for the 77, and he finished 11th. That's in the spring. Finished what, 7th or 9th and 11th here last year, whatever. We just saw him in this package at Darlington at the end of the race, probably the fastest car on the track, just blowing by everybody. I'm not saying Darlington is Bristol, but I am saying it's banked. I am saying there's tire wear, and I am saying Hocevar was a frigging rocket at the end of that race. So, yeah, man, I am not surprised anymore if we see Carson Hocevar running top 5 at the end of a race and being strong. What a fun week it would be if we have Hocevar versus Ty Gibbs battling for their first win at Bristol. I think it'd be awesome. Phil, I'm jumping back to you.
Couldn't agree more. It's Hocevar for me. And, if you're going to take anybody else, it would be McDowell. And when you look at their numbers at Bristol, they're actually like very similar, like overlaying each other. But the difference maker is last year, both apples to apples at Spire, and Hocevar's 2-0 against them. And that tweet by Iowa is perfect. Just kind of sums up, there's more to it than just the number on the paper after the race is over at 11th. He's been fast, and for all of those reasons, there's no way I could go against him in this race and try to give up points on purpose.
Pino, what do we got?
Yep, gonna be Hocevar for me as well. Maybe McDowell, if you're looking for a little top 10 sneaky play, has a good track record here, but I'm looking for guys to get me the most points, to be in the mix to win it. And his aggressiveness we talk about, obviously this is a place to where it could be an advantage to him. A decent Martinsville as well, which I was happy about. But the thing was too, like, Hocevar has been good here ever since he stepped foot like in any cup car at this track. I was at the Bristol night race when he was in the 42, I believe it was. And he was like running inside the top 10, and everyone's like, whoa, look at this kid go. And like, that was really cool to be there live in person. I think full circle moment, top 5 day for him, top 10, like definitely. And like you guys are saying here, Kyle says in the chat, who wins first, Hocevar or Gibbs? We'll find out this weekend, maybe, because that's what the consensus is. It seems like, and the fact that those guys have been fast recently makes things even more exciting with all the storylines we got going on.
Yeah, we come full circle here. Like, we try to give out any bets we've placed throughout the week. The lines might not be available anymore, but if you can look on Win the Race and find the fair market value for these bets, and you find a number that's still valuable, go ahead and get it. Hocevar took top 10 plus 150. I thought that was a good number. And I think you can still get like 135, 140s out there. So go check it out. But yeah, I think Hocevar can finish top 10, no doubt this week. Trackhouse. Now this kind of goes against what I said earlier, but I really don't know what else to do here. Not really into the SVGs or the Connor Ziliches here. I know Tino, you've had great success going with SVG here when we don't. But I'm not going to change here. I know I'm against this guy. I don't even want to do it because I am against this guy. I just think they suck right now. But
pivot.
nah, I'll just do it. I'll stick with it. Look, even the keyboard knows. Like it can't put his name in bold. It just knows. It just knows it's such a weak pick that it can't be in bold. I'm going to leave it as the only name not in bold here.
That's a good one.
It's gross. So yeah, give me Chastain again. Phil mentioned earlier, he has good track history here. So I just look at that, and look at his teammates. I just kind of got to go with him here. And, maybe if I lose my head-to-head with real money, I can win in my heart and beat you guys in the draft. So give me Ross Chastain. We all know this is more important than money anyway. So give me Ross Chastain. And, Tino, I'm going to kick it right back to you. What do you got?
This one, it's funny because I don't want to sound like a broken record because I've almost said exactly what you already said with it being tough. I'm gonna say why it's tough more so because SVG, although he's doing better on ovals and better at Martinsville, this is Bristol, baby, and I just don't think he's gonna be able to hang with the dogs racing as fast as they are. And hearing him talk about racing at this track last year specifically, where it's like, yeah, perfect, Brian. He says SVG admitting he was lost here is cemented in his mind. Mine too. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, this is just a whole different animal. It's a beast for someone like him who is obviously getting better, but I just don't think he gets any better here. So I'm not going to go SVG for all those reasons. Just not good enough yet. And then Connor Zilich too. I just can't take a rookie in his first Bristol race. Like, no shade to him. Maybe he's going to have a good day, but I have to go with Chastain, and I'm very mad at Chastain because he hasn't been performing well at the tracks that he needs to be. And maybe it's his team, but no. Hold up. Standing on business, not his team. It's him. They got to clean it up. The team's been racing fine. SVG's looking promising. Zilich has his own rookie, issues and things to work through, but I don't like this pick, but I have to take him.
Phil, what do you got here?
Well, I was staring down Connor Zilich, honestly. I pulled up his Xfinity numbers just to see. He had a couple starts.
He's going back down there too to race O'Reilly.
Yeah, getting some seat time. Started inside the top 5 both races, finished 12th and 5th in the 88 last year. So there's part of me that was like, you know what, got to be different here. But I'm just going to make this one easy for us. I'll make it Chastain, no blood either way, with the hope here of this is a driver who this Easter break needs to help. And if it doesn't, then they are absolutely dead in the water. And for a championship or the chase format and that sort of thing. Also, conversely, I want to see how Zilich does with no stress. I want to hope that he goes out and starts performing better and be able to take him in the draft week to week. So, but we'll go no stress this week for Trackhouse.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. I mean, this team is so weird. I don't think we're really that surprised if we go out and all 3 cars are just getting lapped and swallowed up pretty quickly. But I'm also not too surprised if any of these 3 are better than the other 2 and is running top 20. So I don't know, man. They're just a super hard team to figure out right now. All right. We're going to head to the bonus round. Tino, with your 1-point victory last week, you're going to lead off the bonus round this week. Then it's going to kick it to me, and then we go to Phil for the ultimate leverage bonus bomb. So, Tino, bonus pick worth 1.25 extra points. You've been doing good on this year. What do you got?
Yeah, last week, may have not gotten as fired up as Phil did, and that's okay. He had a great moment there. To me, Denny Hamlin and having that bonus pick last week was very strong play. He came through to me. He came through for me, having, the most points in that race or one of the most, and ultimately he's been a strong guy. picking this season. So this is a very big spot for me. I look at that 1.25x and think, who can run within the top 5 all day? Who's been strong at this track? And wait a second, you guys got me? I feel like, am I cutting in and out? Sorry, I know it's a bonus pick.
We got you.
You got me? Okay, I think my Wi-Fi is going out.
Tino selects Ty Gibbs as his bonus pick. Let's go. Hey, Phil, go stick that dirty shirt in the laundry, bud. You won't be needing it.
Ty Gibbs, bonus pick! T54, let's go! It's Bristol, baby! I've been calling this shot for years! You all want to hop on the train now? It's too late for you! I'm the conductor! Let's go!
Wow.
Dude, I didn't even see him upload that video in here.
What a sneak.
I had no idea that was coming at all. What a shot there. It just, I don't even know what to say now. I mean, can I just type mine in here? Because that's what I had written down all day. So that's what I had all day long. I can't follow that up at all, but I'm glad Zach's in here. What a great appearance from Zach there in the video. That is freaking awesome. Yeah, I mean, listen, if we want to talk about it a little bit, instead of yelling, we can just have a conversation about Ty Gibbs. If we're talking about lap leaders at Bristol, you talk about Kyle Larson, who we all have, and you know who we talk about next? Ty Gibbs. That's who we talk about leading laps at Bristol here in the Gen 7 car of the last 5 races, whatever it is. He's been unreal here. But here's the kicker. So if you look at the races in this package this year, only Denny Hamlin has the better average running position. That was shouted out by Phil earlier. If you look at the finishes, because this is what we always said about Ty, where's the finishes at? What's going on? Well, there's only one driver with a better average finish than him in those 3 races, and that's Ryan Blaney, who swept the board over here. So not only is he running up front, but he's finishing up front, and this might be his best track. So here we go. Calling Ty Gibbs' first win this weekend. Mm-hmm. Let's see it happen. Phil, you have the opportunity to take this. What are you going to do?
I want to just say that I fucking knew Tino was. Did I not say it? Yeah, let's play poker next time we go to Ryan's house because I fucking knew it. But
you call that easy.
So you got to get up pretty early in the morning, Tino. But fair enough. That was phenomenal. I had Ty Gibbs written down for all of those reasons. He's the best driver right now. Like, these top 5s he's ripping off, and his Bristol stats are phenomenal. Ty, I was getting ready to say Tyler, Randall, Gibbs for my pick until a new rivalry was just born when Zach came at the shirt. And let me just tell you something, pal. I was on your side. I've got a Gibbs top 5, but let me just remind you, all right? You come at the king, you best not fucking miss. So we're diverting. We are diverting on the fly. I have Gibbs written down. Nope, not anymore, because we're going to go with the driver who's first in average finish, 5.2, first in driver rating, 115.3, first in average running position, 6.1, the driver who is going to get back this week. Bonus for Phil, Christopher Bell. Let's go. And this was not planned, but man, I hold grudges. I'm a scorn guy right now. I wanted Gibbs. I'll take the best guy overall at Bristol in the last 6 races. What of it?
Yeah,
that's fine. That's a good consolation prize. So
and we both
there we go.
That's a good game theory pick there too. And you're the only one with Denny. How do you
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah,
man,
you're looking good right now.
Oh man, no, he did come at the shirt. But no, I like it. Let's go.
Whew. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so
I'm just playing. Relax.
What are we? Zane, Larson, Bell, Blaney, Hocevar, Chastain are the locks. Not bad. Hopefully that'll help people. One quick housekeeping note. Next week, we are recording Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m., not Wednesday. Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eric Estep will be joining us for his first draft. Got to do it on Tuesday to accommodate the big dog. So Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Be there. We'll remind everybody throughout the week. Million comments here tonight. Thank you guys. Like, awesome to see you guys writing in. As always, Tino, is there anything of note in there we want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first, as I go through them, I'll keep bringing some up here. I was definitely on Phil's side. It was great to see the pivot there, the last second, because Big Ross joining in late. What I missed, dude. Yeah,
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I can watch this one. I think the coolest thing at the end was to see which people in the chat went Team Phil or Team Tino Ryan, at least in terms of Ty Gibbs here. And
you could feel the heartbreak when we got past JGR with no Ty Gibbs. It was like we were at a funeral. It's like, what happened?
Yeah. Well, and so let me give a little backstory, a little bit. Like, I've been thinking Ty Gibbs for a long time, like not as long as Team 54. He's been the guy that's been pushing it more than anyone else ever, which is awesome. But I've said it to you guys last year, like Ty Gibbs, and not like, yes, he had the fall race that he dominated, and didn't get the win. But even in the springtime, and especially the time when the tires mattered the most in that crazy 2024 race, he was there. So this was just a track to me that I think it's possible for him. When I think of like first time winners, I feel like Bristol's a place where it could happen. So I'm excited for him. Like, a lot of people are talking about it, and hey, welcome aboard the train. Like, I'm happy to have everyone on board, and whether you're coming in this week or not. But it's funny to note, and I'll stand on business here with this, and maybe T54 will appreciate it. The Ty Gibbs hate was probably the most prominent out of all drivers throughout the past season. To see them sort of trickle back and turn, and see how good he's been this year, and to sort of give that hate up a little bit, it's been awesome to see, because he deserves that respect. He's earning that respect. And a lot of people think, the cars are different, and maybe he switched with Chase Briscoe. That's a crazy theory. But ultimately, I'm excited for Ty Gibbs this weekend. In terms of comments, let us know in the chat if you guys got any questions or anything like that. One thing that I didn't want to bring up was Easton having a great week last week. He said he did crazy good in Martinsville, got first, second, third, fifth, and sixth place. And got all four versus picks correct for a crazy high 285 points on NASCAR Fantasy. That's awesome, dude. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the info on here helped with that. That's so sick to see.
Yeah, and so shout out to him, shout out to Marcus, big Christopher Bell guy. It's awesome to see him commenting on our stuff, but also when I did my podcast for the other people back in the day, he would comment on every video and say Christopher Bell's winning. So awesome to see him.
Oh yeah, he does on
that.
Eric's videos too. Yeah.
Yep. So shout out to him, and then Robert as well. I put this one up during the show, but wearing some Win the Race merch, so that's awesome to see.
Yeah,
I love
nice.
when people are doing that.
When Reddick won too, I told people, just DM me and I'll send you, shirts and hats and shit like that in the Win the Race Discord. So if you are one of them, I am shipping that out probably next week. So I was just kind of waiting to see how many piled up, and I just want to go to the post office one time. So that's why I'm waiting. But yeah, cool. The Ty Gibbs thing too is just circling back to that. I've bet on him, his unders of wins for 2 years in a row and won until this year. Something just told me this year, like, I don't know, don't do it. And I'm kind of glad, because it does seem like he could get on the board here this year somewhere. So hopefully this week for the old wallet, but we'll see what happens. All right, what else we got? Great show, guys.
Yeah, appreciate Nigel. Great comment.
Yeah,
he wishes he can be here every Wednesday. Never misses a show, though. We appreciate that. If you're watching live or tuning in after, it matters to us so much. And just another reminder, this is a good one. If you could be in here every Wednesday, that's great. But next week is Tuesday. So hopefully if you couldn't be in there Wednesday, you see you Tuesday, see us Tuesday. And it would be great. So looking forward to that big show next week.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. All right. Great draft, guys. Awesome again. I'll run through the picks that we did lock here. Zane Smith, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Blaney, Carson Hocevar, Ross Chastain. So I think those are our big dogs this week. And hopefully, like we said, it helps you with your fantasy teams, your one and dones, your anything you got going on. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to comment on the video on YouTube. And I'm always on there kind of answering whatever questions come in or comments. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to do that. Tino, where can everyone find you're back this week? Where can everyone find all the bets, all the picks? Where are we going?
Yes, sir. So I'll be on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, 2B TV, the NASCAR app. That'll be on Friday for the morning drive, giving my best bet segment there. So I'm excited to do that. Everything we talked about here, but going into a little bit more of the odds with all that. One thing, we're talking about, the guys that are the hot topic like Ty Gibbs, but also maybe throwing in some underdog plays like a Justin Allgaier top 10. That's something that's on my mind right now. So stay tuned for that when I have my segment there. Maybe live for pre-race. Even if I am or not, tune in for SiriusXM. They do a great job, Pete Pistone there. So I believe I might be on for Bristol this week, and I'm excited for this race. So this was an awesome episode with you guys. Appreciate Team 54 Zach for giving my pick out. First guy to ever give a pick for me. So I thought that was really cool and very well done. So appreciate everyone and all their comments. Follow me at Tino PATTIGNO as well for more stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome. Phil, when's I can't wait to listen to the truck episode. I mean, I just want to know. We talked before the show, like I don't listen to anything all week long until us three. We record. I talk to you guys. And then my day of listening to stuff starts tomorrow. So I'll go venture out into the world. But I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this truck field. It's freaking nutty. So yeah, man. When's everything coming out this week?
Well, my goal is to try to do a lot of the research tomorrow. The tough thing with trucks is like waiting for all the different books to drop lines of the different markets, but hopefully to record around this time tomorrow and get that out. The race being at 7:30 or whatever it is instead of like 4 o'clock like last week helps a little bit with shelf time. But yeah, appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it as well. This is the most stacked truck race. I think we said Daytona we were looking forward to. This is even more stacked with Cup guys. So should be a fun one. And really looking forward to it. But yeah, YouTube, the Full Tank with Phil YouTube channels where you can find that. And the Cup Series race breakdown on Full Tank with Phil is out now for everywhere you get your podcast. So yeah, thanks to anyone who tunes in and gives that a click. But the chat was on fire tonight. No hard feelings, Zach. It'd be a fun one to watch go down this week. I am cheering for Ty in certain ways, so I'll be conflicted. But yeah, this was a fun one, and man, Bristol, baby, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, pumped to be back. Triple header. Greg and I will have everything out at Win the Race for the Trucks Friday, O'Reilly Saturday, Cup Sunday. Got a new DFS optimizer you guys can try out. It can work off the points or it can work off the optimal lineups from the 200,000 results that we have. So, and you can pretty much set any rule imaginable in there. I'll put a link to a video I made showing that off below this video on YouTube. So I'll just pin it there so people can check that out. Wintherace.info. Go get all your NASCAR info. Have fun in the Discord with us. Fellas, love you guys. Thank you. Great show. Chat, love you guys. Thank you. Everyone enjoy the race this weekend, and good luck. We'll see you next week on Tuesday night next week, 8:30.